Welcome all to Vinyasa Sculpt. It's so good to see so many familiar and new faces. I'm Kat, and we will be doing 45 minutes of pretty intense yoga. So as I say at the very beginning of every class, take breaks as needed. You are going to watch me fall out of most postures I ask you to get into. So we're really in this kind of goofy practice together. Awesome. So let's begin in child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch, spread your knees out wide as feels comfortable for you, and then begin to melt your upper body towards your mat, extending your fingertips above your head and resting your forehead on the ground. Begin to settle in here. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel your back rise and fall with every inhale and every exhale. See if you can sink your hips a little closer to your heels. Maybe you can spread your knees out even wider to get a light inner thigh stretch. When you breathe, seal your lips at the top and bottom of every breath to begin to heat up your inner body. This is our Ujjayi breath will allow us to move a little quicker or a little deeper into each posture. So cultivate that now. And begin to let go of any thoughts or judgments or expectations you may be bringing to the class. This is just a practice between you and your mat. Even the things I say are just a series of suggestions. Do what feels good for your body today. Let's seal this with a breath. Inhale through your nose. Your back will rise, elongate your spine. Exhale, open mouth, audible exhale. Let it go. Nice. Keeping your lower body where it is, come up onto your hands in this kind of pseudo frog posture. Spread your knees out a little wider. Maybe you bring your pelvis a little more forward and begin to rotate slowly in these frog posture, opening up your inner thighs. Beautiful. Take this nice and slow. It's a pretty intense posture to begin class with. So just breathe into it. Nothing should feel too intense. Nice. Slowly bring your knees together to touch and have a seat on your heels. Inhale your arms up nice and high to mountain pose from the waist up. Exhale, grab your right elbow with your left hand. Your right hand comes down onto your back and pull a little bit on your right tricep. Engage your core here, avoid a duck butt. We're not doing any back bending yet. Just feel this beautiful sensation in your right tricep. We're doing tons of tricep wrist work. So we're going to open up every class by stretching into those parts a little bit. Nice. Switch it out. Grab left elbow with right hand and pull back a little until you feel a nice left tricep sensation. You guys look great. And then slowly release both grips, hands come down to the mat, twisting to the right. Slowly turn your right shoulder back behind you. Grab your right knee with your left hand and twist. Keep your shoulders above your hips so your spine is nice and tall. Sit up while also maybe looking behind your right shoulder. Use your right hand to guide your right shoulder even further behind you. I love starting off class with a beautiful spinal twist like this. So indulge into it. Can you twist a little deeper now that you're a little more open? And then switch it out. Come back to center and then all the way around to the left. Right hand comes to left knee. Back will crack. And sit up nice and tall. Breathing in deeply to every posture. Just a few more breaths. One more. And then slowly release, coming back to center, resetting the spine. Plant your hands on the ground, step your knees back into a tabletop pose. Preparing for some wrist stretches. If you have wrist stretches in your practice already that you like to do, just jump into that. I'm going to take my kind of tiered wrist stretches. So bring your wrists 90 degrees to the right and left side so your fingers are facing the long edges of your mat. Wrists are facing one another. And rock back and forth, left and right, to begin opening up into that space. If this feels really light to you, you're pretty open in your wrist during this place. Twist them 90 degrees further so your fingers are facing your knees and you rock vertically this time. This is a little more intense. We spend a lot of time on our wrists and planks and downward facing dogs, even just on our computer. So it's super important we give our wrists a kind of underrated part of our body some love. And then finally, flip your palms so your fingers are facing one another. Your palms are facing up and take circles. This is probably the most intense version. So again, if anything feels a little too intense, just back out of it. Listen to your body today. Nice. One more breath. And then come back into a neutral tabletop. Bring your palms back to the mat. And let's take a few cat-cows here. Inhale, curl your tail under, look up. Exhale, round through cat. Puff up from your hands, look between your thumbs. Inhale up to cow. Stick your tail out. Exhale, round forward into scaredy cat. Puff up your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. And take a few of these on your own time. We each have our own kind of breath rhythm. So move to that, whatever is moving you today. In yoga, we always inhale when we rise. So that's why we inhale on our way to cow and exhale when we round, which is why we exhale on the way to cat. Find a neutral spine here. Stick your right leg up and long off of the mat. Flex the toes so your leg is nice and straight. Bring your weight slightly to the right and lift your left arm nice and long off the mat, preparing for bird dog crunches. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose, round forward like we practiced in our cat. Inhale, extend, exhale, crunch, extend, crunch, extend, crunch. Yes, you're off at your own pace here. Wherever you are, come into the fullest expression of the posture before moving on to the next one. So really extend and really crunch before you move on to the next one. Whew, I'm already heating up. Here we go for 4, 3, opposite side. Yes, you can for 2, and 1. Opposite side, plant the hand down, knee down, extend your left leg long this time, flex the toes, and then extend your right arm straight ahead. Inhale, exhale, crunch. Inhale, crunch. Inhale, crunch. Beautiful. Extend, exhale, extend, exhale. Again, take these on your own time. Maybe you even stay in bird dog without engaging in the crunch. This is your practice, guys. We're going to get real hot real fast, so take it slow. Whenever you get overheated, ditch the Ujjayi breath and come to open mouth exhales to release energy, to release some of the heat you're building. Just for 4. Yes, you can. 3. You guys look so good. And 2, tabletop. And 1, tabletop. Whew, take a moment. We did those for a long time. I know that. Curl your toes under and pop your knees off the ground just 1 to 2 inches, just a tiny bit. Nice. This is a real core heater upper. So breathe deeply. Yes, you can. If this ever gets too much, just come back down on your knees, maybe do a little bit of cat-cow. If you want a really crazy challenge, we're going to try bird dog with one of our knees lifted a few inches off the ground. So extend your right leg long here. See how that fires up your core in a really intense, kind of impossible way. Then bring your weight into your right hand and extend your left arm long. Inhale, exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, we're going to fall out and come right back in. Keep that left knee as close to the mat as you can as you're doing these, just for 4, 3, 2, tabletop hovers, and 1. Place the left hand down, both knees hover. Whew, catch your breath for a second. Extend your left leg long this time. Right arm reaches up. This is all optional. Option to just hold the tabletop hover. Inhale. Exhale, crunch. This is a really hard balance. My core is already shaking. I'm already falling out. We're here for 4. Yes, you can, guys. For 3. Down to tabletop in 2. Oh my gosh. In 1. Tabletop. Set your knees down. Come into a high plank. Extend your legs behind you. Shoulders stack over your wrists. Breathe it out. Whew. You did it. You guys look super strong. We're doing a lot of core in my class because core is such an essential part of yoga. And from here, slowly push your hips back, heels down low, downward facing dog. Take a minute to pedal it out. Say hello to your body this morning. Maybe bring one heel low, one heel high. Press your chest closer to your thighs by pressing away from the palms of your hands, the heels of your hand. When you feel a little more open, find stillness and just hold this neutral downward facing dog. No tension in your neck. You're rounding your triceps in towards your ears. Your knees are slightly bent. Nice. Keeping everything where it is, preparing for dolphin, slowly begin to lower your elbows down to the ground so they meet your mat. Your elbows are in line with your hands. This is a dolphin pose. It's like a really weird downward facing dog. We're gonna take a few rotations from dolphin to down dog. So now pop back up, elbows straighten into down dog, and then slowly bend into your elbows so they meet the mat into dolphin. And take a few of these rotations again at your own pace, your own time. Stay in dolphin, stay in down dog if that feels really good to you. This is a really amazing forearm exercise. Again, forearms are something we don't really pay attention to. It's also great for the shoulders. So engage into it if you can. Just for 4, 3, a lot of hand work here. 2, meet me in down dog. In 1, downward facing dog. Oh my gosh, let's get off our shoulders. Inhale, see your hands. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. Toes to touch. Forward fold. Take a generous bend in your knees. Bring your chest close to your thighs. Release any neck muscles. Whatever you want to do with your arms is totally up to you. Just engage in this beautiful hamstring stretch for a minute. Catch your breath. Nice. Slowly bend into your knees, rising your chest up into chair pose. Engage your core to avoid a duck butt. You want to round your inner core in. Sit nice and low. Breathing here. Nice. Big breaths in. Look down onto your feet. Make sure you can wiggle your toes off of the mat. You want most of your weight to be in your heels. Can you see your toes from behind your knees? Nice. And slowly breathe all the way back up to mountain pose. Reach up from your shoulders to your hands. Engage your core, lift your thighs off of your knees, and breathe. Yes, sweet release. Drop your right arm down, reach to the right with your left arm, keeping your bicep in line with your ear. Reach up rather than right first. Feel this left side oblique stretch. Inhale up to mountain reset. Exhale to the left. Drop your left arm down. Reach across with the right. Wow, this feels really good. Inhale back up to mountain. Exhale, slowly bend into your knees, lowering down into chair. And then keep lowering. Try to keep your heels up on the ground for as long as possible, but eventually they're gonna pop up. All the way down into low boat. Have a seat on your butt. Either bend or straighten your legs and your arms come forward in front of you, engaging your core. Nice. So this is gonna be our big core exercise of class. You can take it as slow or as fast as you want. We're just going to do a few scullers. So inhale, exhale, crunch your knees into your chest. Beautiful. You're gonna do a few of these, extending your legs long and legs long, arms and legs long, and then crunching forward at your own pace, at your own time. Whew. Just a few of these to warm up our core. Yes, you can do it. You guys look super strong. We're here for 4, 3, legs up the wall in 2, and 1. Slowly fall back on top of your back meets mat, legs punch up into the wall, flexing the toes. Can you straighten your legs? Feel a beautiful, maybe even a hamstring stretch here. You want to create a nice L posture with your body. Feel all the blood drain from your toes all the way down to meet your heart. And then slowly tip your legs further back behind you into this reverse forward fold. So pop up off of your lower half and your legs come to meet the ground or hover behind the ground behind you. Breathe. You want to stack your hips as close to your shoulders as possible to avoid any negative rounding in your spine. This feels really good. Breathe into it. Maybe flex or point your toes to activate your legs a little more. Slowly bring your right foot back up to meet the ceiling. So you're in an L pose with your legs. Maybe you bring your hands behind your lower back if they weren't there already to act as a kickstand. So we're in this L posture, left leg behind our head, right leg straight up. And then switch it out. Left leg comes up to the ceiling, right leg meets the ground. Feel this hamstring stretch. And then take a few of these scissor kicks, just using your core as balance on your own pace. Maybe you try to bring your hands down to the ground to add a little more core work here. Go as fast or as slow as you want. Just for 4, 3, bend your knees into your ears in 2, and 1. Slowly bend your knees into your ears and then rock forward all the way up into mountain. It's a big transition. Yes, Hannah, it was beautiful. Sit nice and low here. Whew, breathe, inhale, exhale, forward fold, send your hands to the mat, heart to thighs. Inhale, up to halfway lift, we're moving fast now. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, high plank, hold it here. Preparing for plank jacks, our toes are together, and then our toes go on the outside of our mat. Together, out, together, out. Nice. You guys are super strong. This is like half a cardio workout, so own it. Open mouth breaths here. Keep your core engaged. You don't want to bounce your butt up and down. You want to keep everything nice and tight and strong, just using your legs. For 4, 3, nice and strong for 2. High plank in 1, high plank, hold it. And then slowly lower or bend into your elbows, lowering your chest almost to touch the ground halfway, and then pop up into upward facing dog. Flip your toes, shine your chest forward. Hold it here for a second. Engage your glutes to avoid dumping into your lower back. Look forward, chin up, nice, tall, and proud. Breathe here, guys. This is hard stuff. Enjoy this beautiful stretch. And then when you're ready, flip your dog. Toes can come back onto the mat. Hips up, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that whole thing a little faster one more time. Inhale, see your hands. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat, toes to touch. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, rise up to chair. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your butt all the way down to the ground. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Butt to mat, low boat here. 2 options for low boat. 1 is the more challenging option, which I'm going to skip. And that is a straight V up by bringing your hands behind you and lifting your core all the way up. So your upper body is off the ground and you're touching your toes like this. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my back on the ground and just kind of do this dead bug V up with my back on the ground and my legs and toes flexed, nice and straight. Whew, this is the last intense core work of class, I promise you guys. I am here sweating and shaking alongside you. Just a few more breaths here. For 4, can you speed it up? Just 3, nice and strong. For 2, legs up the wall. And 1, legs up the wall, flex the toes. Breathe here. This is a lot of in my hips as well. Connect back to your breath. Reset. And then when you're ready, rock all the way back into the reverse forward fold. Bring your butt to the ceiling. Toes maybe touch the ground, keeping your legs as straight as you can. Shift your hips further towards your nose and hold it here for a few seconds. These poses feel even more juicy and rewarding when we've worked really, really hard. Preparing for the L kicks. Lift your left leg up to the ceiling this time. Flex both feet or point both toes to activate your shins and your calves. And then switch it out. Right leg rises, left leg falls down to the ground. Taking these movements on your own time, your own pace. Yes, Matt and Kelly look super strong. Whew, yeah. Nice. Just for 4. 3, bend into your knees. And 2, and 1, slowly bend into your knees. Your butt comes back down to the ground. Use that momentum to pop all the way up into chair pose. Sit nice and low here. Option to stay in chair. This is a really hard thigh engager. If you know what crow is, or even if you don't know what crow is, we're going to try our first arm balance today. So what we're going to do is bring our hands a few feet, 1 foot maybe, in front of our toes, using our Spider-Man grip. So our palms aren't flat on the ground, but you have like a little grip on your mat. Bring your knees to your triceps. So your knees or your feet are about a little more than hips width distance apart. Connect your knees to your triceps, creating a nice shelf with your arms. Slowly hinge forward, looking in front of you, maybe towards the top of your mat. Lift 1 foot off the ground. Maybe you lift the other and hold it, or don't hold it and fall and fail. And we're gonna try things on our own time. I practiced yoga for 2 years before I can even begin holding crow in any sort of decent regard. This is a hard pose. You want to put all of your muscle into your arms. Breathe. If you feel more comfortable, just whenever you're ready, meet me in Malasana with your legs nice and wide, your hands at prayer pose, opening up into your inner thighs. We're all ready for Malasana, is what I'm seeing. That's great. That's okay. Great. From here, slowly open up into a forward fold. Breathe. Inhale up to halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, hold the plank. Yes, you can. We're gonna do some mountain climbers. Here we go. Knee to nose, 1 at a time. Option for low impact by doing 1 at a time without adding the jump in. But this is just a quick burst of cardio. In pandemics, I think we all could use a little more cardio. Here we go. Just for 10. 9, can you go faster? 8, woo! 7, pushing back into downward facing dog right after this. For 5, 4, I hear you guys working. For 3, 2, and 1, downward facing dog. Oh my gosh. Step that out. I am sweating so profusely. That is okay. And is in fact encouraged to take breaks and sweat. Nice. Inhale your right toes high, nice and high. Open and bend your knee, opening up into that hip. Get this beautiful hip stretch. Really engage into it. Maybe you look behind your right armpit. Maybe you take circles. Breathe. And then slowly place your foot in between your hands, the front of your mat. Inhale up to Crescent Lunge. It's mountain pose from the waist up, 90-degree bend in your right leg. You're on your left toes. If it feels good to you, begin to straighten your back leg to activate that whole leg, or option to keep a bend into it. Really whatever is feeling good for you today. And breathe. Open mouth exhales for me from now on in class. Sit a little deeper into it. Yes, you can. Bump that left hip forward, that right hip back to really engage your lower core. Round your triceps in by bringing your pinkies in towards one another and lower your shoulders down behind your back. Beautiful. Bring your hands to prayer pose. Inhale, hinge forward, meet your thighs to your chest. And then exhale, twist to the right. Left elbow comes to lock on right knee. You're opening up into the right side wall. Keep that 90-degree bend strong on your right leg. Option to come down off of that left knee to just engage in the twists. We've done a lot of leg work already, so there are so many beautiful options here. If you're feeling really strong, really flexible, try for the bind. Reach your right arm behind your back and grab your left hand through your right leg. Hold it. This is really challenging. Wow. Just breathe into it. Come back to your intention, fall out, do whatever is necessary. That is yoga, guys. Is trying, failing, trying again. Just for 4, 3, reverse half moon in 2, and 1, undo the bind, pop up onto your right leg only. Your left leg rises to an L pose, so your whole lower body is parallel to the mat. Then you keep that twist in your upper body, so your right arm comes nice and high. Maybe you even look to the right. Keep that left leg nice and high too. So, whoo, my right glute is done. Take breaks as needed, and then come back when you're ready. Keep that left leg nice and high, maybe flex or even point the toes to keep it straight. Keep working that right shoulder back. My right glute is on fire, guys. We're here for just a few more seconds. Can you sink your upper body a little lower? Can you twist a little deeper? For 4, 3, warrior 3 in 2, and 1, keeping your lower body where it is. Bring your right arm to meet your left in this kind of Superman pose. Whew. Engage your core. So you're in this kind of T shape with your upper body. Yes, for 4, 3, dancers pose in 2, and 1, grab for your left foot with your left hand, and then slowly kick your left thigh up nice and high, bringing your right arm high too. Really sorry for this unfortunate glare behind my head, so you can't even see how sweaty I am, but you see the pose pretty well. Nice. So the goal isn't to bring your leg as high as possible. The goal is to keep your chest nice and high and then bring your leg to meet it. So it's more of a back bend than anything else. Oh my gosh. Just for a few more seconds, can you kick even higher? You should feel this in your left hip, maybe your left thigh, definitely a lower back bend. Wow. Have fun with this practice, guys. It is a challenge. And then slowly release your hand to foot grip. Do not bring your toes to the ground yet. And pendulum swing your left leg forward into L pose. So now you're creating an L, tons of L's today, with your left leg nice and high. Engage your core. Sit up nice and tall with your upper body. Can you bring your leg even higher to create almost a V? I cannot create a V with my body, but that is definitely an option if you can. Holding it just for a few seconds. Yes, you can. A lot of left hip work here. And then slowly bend into both legs, figure 4. Bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh and sit nice and low here. As in chair, we don't want to crunch forward. This is not about creating like a really tight ball. You want to sit up nice and tall here, just lowering your butt nice and low by bending into your right knee. You should feel potentially a left glute stretch, even though we really need it on our right side, but we'll get that in a minute. Sit even lower, keeping your chest up nice and high. Whew, I swear we have one more posture and then we were getting off of our right leg for the rest of our lives. Breathe into it. Can you sit a little lower? Preparing for eagle posture. So stay in this pose and we'll move one body part at a time. Slowly cross your left thigh over your right. So you're like in this, I don't even know, curtsy pose, and bring your toes to the left toes to the ground as a kickstand. Then wrap your left tricep, bicep underneath your right. Bring your elbows up to meet your shoulders. Your elbows are in line with your shoulders, and sit even lower. Sit low so you can bring your shoulders in line with your hips. So this is not a crunch forward posture. This is pretend there's a wall behind you and sit back against it. If you were feeling the balance even more, maybe bring your left toes off of the ground and take a double wrap, or take a single wrap and just don't touch the ground. Sit back even more. Just for 4, 3, gosh, here we go for a break in 2 and 1. Oh, release it. Yeah. Do a little shake, a little dance. Can you still feel your right leg? Yeah. Josh with the cool dance moves today. Here we go. Inhale up to mountain pose, maybe take a back bend. Exhale, forward fold, hands through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, hold the high plank here. Just hold it for a few seconds. Catch your breath. It is an active pose, but it is not as intrusive as a really intense cardio burst. Breathe. Yes, you can. And let's try some Chaturanga push-ups here. Option to take these on your knees. Just bend into your elbows so much so that your chest meets your elbows, and then push up. Nice. Do a few of these on your own time. My triceps are dead today, but the goal is just to warm up your triceps, engaging into them a little bit, just for 4. Can I do 4? 3, maybe 2, upward facing dog, and 1, flip your dog. Engage your glutes. Get that amazing core opener. Inhale. Exhale, down facing dog. Take it back. Ooh. Take a few big open mouth breaths here. Yes, you can. We're just going to the other side, and then I swear we are done. Inhale your left toes nice and high. Open, bend, and stretch that knee. Maybe look behind your left armpit. Take circles, flex or point your toes. Do whatever you need to open up into your hip. Take a quiet moment just for a breath. And slowly rock forward, bringing your left foot between your hands. Low lunge. Inhale up to crescent lunge. You've been here before. We all here. Yes. It's so nice that you guys bring your partners or friends to class. It's so good to see so many different people. Bump that right hip forward. Sink a little lower into your left knee. Can you come up more onto your right toes by bringing them even further behind you? Really activate that right leg. Whew. Yes, you guys look so good. Knit your ribs in. You want to avoid any big back bending here. Inhale, bring your hands to heart center. I lied to you. Inhale, hinge forward with your hands to heart center. Exhale, twist to the left. Hook your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. Super strong, Katie. Looking great. Move that left shoulder even further behind you. Option to come down onto your right knee and just engage in the twist. Your right leg is killing, like mine. Option to come into the bind here. Bring your left arm behind your back and grab for your, I don't even think I can do the bind on this side. I haven't done a bind in a really long time on this side. And grab for your right hand. Ooh. Breathe into it. Maybe do it, maybe don't. Nice. Just for a few seconds here, we're really heating up our right thigh, our left thigh. Keeping your chest nice and high. Can you bend further into that left leg? Just for 4, 3, reverse half moon in 2, 2.5, 1, and 1.5, reverse half moon. Come up on to your left leg only. Reach that left arm right behind you. Right arm reaches towards the ground. Right leg, nice and straight. Beautiful. Maybe you come onto a block if you have one easily accessible to you. That could be a book. It really can be anything that you want to take a little bit of the balance out of it so you can nail the posture first. And then slowly bring your hands off of whatever prop you're using. Oy. Breathe here. This is kind of an impossible balance posture. It's really hard to actually keep your lower body parallel while keeping your upper body perpendicular to the mat. But hold it for as long as you can. Bring a little kindness into your practice here. A little gratitude, a little forgiveness. And then slowly work your upper body forward into warrior three. Reach forward, Superman posture, right leg behind you, both arms forward. Option to bring your hands to your heart. If the warrior three posture is intense, it's really intense on my left glute. I'm coming out of it. Breathing deeply. And slowly, slowly rise up, bending into your right knee. This time, grab for your right foot with your right hand, and then slowly kick your right thigh up towards the ceiling or fall out of it like me. And then when you're ready, reach your left arm towards the ceiling as well, creating a beautiful back bend. Engage your thigh. Can you kick even higher, even more into your hand? Find a place either on the wall or the ground that you can just focus your eyes on to really steady your gaze, steady your balance, and steady your mind. Open those breaths here, guys. Slowly release the hand to foot grip and pendulum swing your right leg in front of you to L pose. Flex those toes. You want to create a beautiful straight line with your right leg and a straight line with your upper body. Shoulders over hips, over knees. Breathe. Can you get a little higher? Work into that right hip a little more. And then slowly bend into your right knee and your left knee, placing your right ankle on top of your left thigh, sitting nice and low in this figure four posture. Whew. Are you all still with me? Amazing. Chelsea's nailing it. Sit even deeper. Again, keeping your chest up and nice and high. I don't mean lean forward even more. I mean sit even deeper into your glutes, into your knee. Do you feel this beautiful stretch on your right side glute? Preparing for eagle. Slowly begin to cross your right leg over your left, maybe using your right toes as kickstand. And then sit up nice and tall, shoulders over hips. Wrap your right arm below your left this time. And slowly bring your elbows up in line with your shoulders. Are your shoulders in line with your hips? Maybe you kick up off of your right toes, do the double wrap or even the single wrap. This is compressing a lot of our organs and internal parts. It's really an amazing kind of compression. And so when we release it, it feels really yummy and juicy. Just for 4. Can you sit a little lower for 3? Shoulders back. And 2. And 1. Ah. Woo. Sweet release. Josh, let me see your moves. Here we go. Is Josh even here? Nice. Okay, we've made it. This is the end of class. So begin to slow your heart rate down a little bit. Inhale up to mountain. Last time, catch a back bend. Exhale, forward fold, hands to heart center. Bring your hands to the ground. Inhale up to halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step back into high plank. And then do your Chaturanga Push-Ups, either on your knees or try for a full one, or do whatever feels good for you. Maybe just come into high plank, stay in high plank, and then flip your dog. Inhaling up to upward facing dog. Beautiful stretch. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Yes, you can. This is the last down dog of class. Do you feel a little more lighter? A little more open? Can your heels go a little closer to the mat? Can you send your chest even closer to your thighs? Release any neck stress, anything you're storing in your face, your shoulders. Let it go. One big inhale all together. Get nice and long. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Nice. Slowly bend your knees and have a seat on your mat. Crisscross applesauce. Extend your right leg nice and long and straight, kind of a little 45 degrees away from your mat. Not exactly. And then slowly rotate your shoulders to frame out your right leg and bow forward from your hips, keeping your chest up nice and high. Again, the goal isn't to bring your chest to the knee. It's really just to, as soon as you feel the hamstring stretch, stop and hold it. If you want to add a left side oblique stretch, slowly open up your left shoulder behind you and reach across with that left arm. Again, keep that left arm in line with your ear, keeping yourself honest. You made it, guys. This is it. Now you just get to engage in all these really juicy stretches. We're super sweaty and having a good time. Just empty out into your hamstring now. And slowly come up to neutral position and switch out the legs. Right leg comes in, left leg goes long and straight. Pivot your shoulders over your left leg and slowly hinge forward from your hips. Once you feel a generous but decent hamstring stretch, maybe you open up to the right side wall and reach across with your right arm to add an additional right oblique stretch. In these quieter moments of class, begin to cultivate a sense of gratitude for your practice, for your motivation to get on your mat today. And slowly bring your hand down, rise up one more time. Bring your toes to touch, your inner feet to touch. And then slow in your knees out wide for butterfly pose. And slowly hinge forward again from your hips, opening up into your inner thighs. Maybe you use your elbows to open up your knees even further. Again, stop whenever you feel a decently intense posture or stretch and just hold it. Breathing into everything, letting anything go. Reconnecting to your body, to your mat. Nice. Slowly rise up. Bring your feet to your mat and bring your butt as close to your heels as you can. And slowly lower your upper body down to the ground and bring your heels even closer to your butt so you can tickle your heels with your fingertips. Preparing for either 2 bridges or a wheel. We're doing 2 rounds, so pick whatever you would like. I'm going to call for bridge on the first pose and then call for wheel on the second so you can see both. So if you're doing bridge, inhale up, your hips up in line with your knees. Pretend like there's a block in between your thighs, so you're squeezing them together, not to touch, but just so your knees don't splay out nice and wide. Engage your glutes to bring your hips up even higher. Maybe you rotate your shoulders behind your heart and get a clasp grip behind your back. Can you get even higher? Dig deep into your heels, into your glutes, into your thighs, and hold it. Whew, for 4, 3, body wave it down in 2, and 1, slowly release down. Catch your breath. Acknowledge any openness. Option to try wheel this time, or do whatever you would like. I'm going to call wheel. If you're going into wheel, bring your hands to your ears so your fingers are facing your toes. Keep your elbows nice and tight to your head. Slowly pop up like you're pretending to go into bridge with your hips in line with your knees. And then use your hands to pop your upper body off of the mat. Again, keeping your knees nice and tight in. Again, not to touch, but just using a block in between. And breathe. This is like the most intense back bend of all of yoga. And so come out of it whenever you feel a little overwhelmed. Or just stay here with me for a few seconds. It's so beautiful and so intense. Feel it out. We rock left, right, up, down. See what feels good. And then when you're ready, do a body roll. Head, neck, shoulders, lower middle back. And then come down to the mat. Bring your hands, your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly, and breathe into it. we're preparing for some figure fours. Bring your right ankle onto your left thigh and bring that left thigh nice and close, as close as possible to your chest. Maybe grab behind your inner thigh to bring it nice and close. If you are a little tight in your hamstrings, maybe straighten out that left leg to get another hamstring stretch, or just do it for the additional effort. Flex your toes. Do you feel this in your right glute? Maybe you use your right elbow to open up into the right knee. Can you bring it closer? And then switch it out. Left ankle comes on top of right thigh. This is what we did standing. Remember the like second to last standing balancing posture? We're just doing it lying down now, which is a little nicer. Bring a basket grip behind your right thigh. Flex both toes. Option to straighten out that right foot, that right leg. And use the left elbow to open up into the left knee. At this point in class, you might close your eyes. There's nothing really left to see anymore. And just begin to slowly lower your heart rate. Slowly release any tension you might be storing in your jaw and the other parts of your face, your shoulders. Nice. Slowly come undone. Hug both knees into your chest for a quick spinal reset. Extend your right leg long so it hits the mat. Hug that left knee in closer and slowly guide that left knee to your right side body with your right hand, keeping your left shoulder nailed to the mat. Feel this beautiful lower back twist. If this is comfortable for you, get into a further twist by bringing your right hip even further behind you for a more intense twist. Maybe look or just bring your neck to the left. Can you twist a little deeper? Bring that knee even closer to the mat. And slowly unwind. Bring both hips back down, hug both knees in. Extend the left leg long this time, using your left hand to guide the right knee to your left side mat. Planting the right shoulder on the ground. Again, if this is nice and easy or nice and open here, bring your left hip even further back for a more intense twist. Maybe look to the right or just bring your head to the right. Just a little deeper. Can you bring that knee even closer to the ground? And then slowly come back to center. Hug both knees in. Wrap your arms around your shins and bring your forehead to your knees, creating a tight bowl, the tiniest bowl you can create. Take one big inhale, squeeze and inhale, even more air, even more. Open mouth, exhale, Shavasana, let it go. Oh my gosh, you've arrived. Extend your legs long and your arms long. Maybe you rotate both shoulders underneath your heart to give it a nice uplift. Again, remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let go of any tension in your jaw, in your eyes. Bring your right hand to your belly, your left hand to your heart. And thank yourself for giving yourself 45 minutes of taking care of your body and your soul. Taking a few minutes out of your day to give yourself some love. Doing something just for you. Thank you. Option to stay here in this kind of meditative state. or option to seal out class with me by slowly coming up to have a seat at the top of your mat. Crisscross applesauce, keeping your eyes closed. Bring your shoulders in line with your hips. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your heart center. I'm going to thank you guys again for showing up on your mat with me today. Thank yourselves for doing so. It's a beautiful day. Hope you get to go outside. And what an honor it is to share this practice with each and every one of you. We bring our thumbs to our third eye center, the space between our eyebrows. It's the seat of our intuition, our third eye chakra. And we bow forward and we say, Namaste.